So welcome to my talk, Addressing Burnout in Tech. Naveen VK, if you want to know more about me, we have only 15 minutes, so if you want to know more about me, come talk to me during happy hour or any other time, or any other questions that you have about this talk. Technical director at Invisia, a very small company based out of Midwest, so if you want to talk about that, come see me later. All right. Before we get started, I thought we'd start off with this awesome quote, right? May this talk be the light to you in dark places. So just remember that, right? Lady Galadriel can't go wrong, right? So let's dive right into the 12 stages of burnout as they have been as psychologists recognize these. There are 12 stages of burnout. So let's dive right into this. Please note that this is like more of a neurotypical list. Things might be different for different people, especially the first few stages, but the last few stages are pretty much the same for everybody, right? So just be aware of that. You guys can read, so I'm gonna just focus on a couple things. When you start feeling cynical about what you do, that's a big sign that you're more than halfway there, right? You're halfway there to burnout, right? If you find no value in what you're doing, right? If you think your job is a big black hole, right? You're more than halfway there to burnout. We all are in that momentarily, but if you're stuck there, that is, that's the danger zone, right? And as you go deeper into those levels, depression, burnout syndrome, depersonalization, and odd behavior changes, that's obvious to your near and dear ones. There's a couple seats up here, people. For two near and dear ones, people start abusing drugs like alcohol, right? That's a big change. So be aware of these. So you can look at it. There's a lot more about this. So just Google for 12 stages of burnout and you'll get a lot more information. It is actually, burnout is identified as a disease right now. So the World Health Organization, as of May 2019, so this was pre-pandemic, people, it's not even during the pandemic, right? This is pre-pandemic. So it's an international classification of disease now, that's ICD-11, and that came out in 2019, and this is how they describe it. So we all have faced some version of this and at some part of our lives, right? Or most of our lives or whatever, right? There's actually a study that was conducted, right? And I think this was somebody based out of the UK. Go to that, the link is right up there, but just search for Burnout Index study and you'll get the report, right? You will see that these were how many people responded. Unfortunately, there's only male-female classification, right? They asked a whole bunch of questions, and they scored, low, moderate, and high. And you can see that that was so 43% of the 32,000 odd professionals who responded were male, and 47 were female, right? This is directly from that report. Overall, 62% of us feel emotionally and physically drained, right? And out of that, if you break it down between the men and the women, 69%, that is pretty high, right? 69% of women feel run down, right? Because primarily, we are the caregivers in the family, right? So that's the additional weight that we have to bear. I'm doing a big generalization here, right? Obviously, different families are different, big generalization, but that's how it is. So all this information's out there in that report. Please do look at it. I'm just highlighting a few of these things, right? 42% overall over 42% are at a high risk of burnout. Just be aware of that, right? 2 in 5 want to quit within 6 months. That is a bad state to be in, right? If you can find no happiness in your job is majority of your day-to-day life, right? So just be aware of that, right? So take a look at that report. There's a lot more information on that. So take a look at that report. Now, the next series of slides are basically people that I've talked to. People that I've talked to, things that I've read, things that have worked for me, things that have worked for other people, right? So the next few slides are basically, I've just collated everything into these slides. So it's basically my friends, coworkers, people that I've met at conferences where this topic came out and we've talked about it. So the next few slides are from that, right? And I thought I'd begin with Albus Dumbledore, right? Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, right? If only one remembers to turn on the light, right? There is light, right? And with that, if nothing else from this talk, if you can remember 12 stages of burnout and this slide, you are golden, right? This is all within us. These are called happiness chemicals. Get your daily dose, right? Who likes to watch the daily dose of internet? It's a YouTube thing. It's like 3 minutes or something like that. But it's such a good way to end my day, right? I always try to watch that. The news is always, black and lots of war and this and that, but that is a little blip of happiness, right? So do remember that each one of these chemicals, all of us respond to it differently, right? For me, the two chemicals that give me the highest buzz, one is endorphin. I love to work out. Dance fitness is my therapy. If you're ever in Madison, Wisconsin, I teach a whole bunch of dance fitness classes. Come to see me for one of my classes. And then the other one is dopamine, the reward chemical, right? I love getting done, right? I love getting things done. And I love helping people get things done, right? Help other people get things done. So those are my two big hitters. So you have to figure out which one of these is yours and make sure you get some of it daily, right? And some of it is you will get more than one, right? So laughing with somebody, right? You might get both oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin at the same time. If people love spicy food, yes, that's right there. Yep. So just search for happiness chemicals. There's a whole bunch of things out there, so get your daily dose. The next few slides are basically practical things that people have told me about or talked to me about what has helped. One of the biggest thing is something very basic. Get your sleep, right? Get your sleep. And then the other thing is move. If nothing else, if all you do every single day is get your sleep and move, you're good, right? And move in whatever way you like, right? If you like turning on the music, shutting your bedroom door and dancing, go for it, right? Or just listening to music. Music therapy is also great. So just get your daily self-care. That is the most important thing, right? Remember, most of us probably flew in over here. They always tell us to put the mask on ourselves first before we help somebody else. So that is what's needed. You have to fill up your own basket first before. You can't help others with an empty basket, right? So you have to fill up your own basket first. When stressed, these are the things that have helped. One of my favorites, which I've underlined here, is the 3-second meditation. And this I've used in stressful conversations, in very, like I'm an architect, so there's a lot of, I've done that. 3-second meditation, I call it BTS, right? Let's practice. Take a deep breath, everybody. Exhale. Look at your toes. Look up and smile. Good job. That's a 3-second meditation. Yep. The other thing that I've just started as of beginning of this year that I've started doing is listening to sleep music. 528 hertz is the healing frequency. Remember, we're all molecules, right, at the micro level. And molecules, atoms, electrons, it's all vibration. It's all frequencies. And that's why, your high, your low, it's all frequencies, right? 528 hertz, if you listen to that, I have a Whoop device, right? I bought this during the pandemic because of stress. I wanted to monitor my recovery, right? Yes, Fitbit does that, a whole bunch of other devices do that. So starting this, maybe about January, February is when I started listening to the 528 hertz sleep music. I turn it on in my phone next to my bed and I go to sleep. Marked increase in my your deep sleep, right? It's more than doubled. Like last night, my allergies were so bad. I have really bad seasonal allergies. I got like 6 hours of that sleep. But out of that 6 hours, 3 hours was deep sleep. So I'm good. So whole bunch of things over here. Phone a friend was one of those where phone a friend. You phone a friend and make sure you tell them what you want from them, just for fun. I just want to do something fun. Let's go do something fun, right? These are some of the things that have helped people when you're working from home, remote work. One of the biggest thing for us women is looking at all that clutter, right? One lady said she actually faces away. She has to work in the kitchen because she lives in a small place. She actually faces away from all the dirty dishes in the sink because otherwise she can't focus, right? And that is a big thing adds to her stress. We all have stressful jobs. Keep something you love near you, right? Some memento that you have, photo of your near and dear ones, your wedding ring or whatever, right? Some memento, and if things are stressful, you look at that, serotonin, oxytocin, all that stuff, right? The happiness chemicals again. If you're a team lead or a manager and leading a whole bunch of people, first, you have to build, that's part of being a team lead, right? You build trust with your members of your team. More than that, learn how each person feels appreciated, right? The 5 languages of appreciation, right? Gifts, service, time, acts, yep. And then touch. Oh, touch. Very, very careful, right? Hand. Look at your policy, right? Your company policy. Handshakes, fist bumps, high fives. Those are good, right? So learn how each person feels appreciated. That is very important. And then once you do that, you know what to do from there. Give your team members permission not to attend meetings, not to attend certain extracurricular activities because they're working on this stressful project. Give them the permission to do that. Force vacation on team members. I've done that, right? I've done that, and I've said, you work this weekend, on that Monday, don't even show up. Take the day off, right? Or especially this has been a pretty crappy project for you, take your vacation. The company, it's on the company. Take a week off, right? Don't even dip into your PTOs, anything like that. And then, last but not the least, professional care, right? If it gets to the point where you're in the burnout syndrome, you will need professional help, whether it's talking to a counselor, to actual help, to go to a doctor because your body will start fighting back, right? You will have health issues, right? Like really severe migraines where you will need medication. So don't forget professional care, but there are also other services. I religiously get 1 massage a month, right? Go to retreats, sound therapy. Sound therapy is amazing. Float therapy, there's a whole bunch of these things. So be aware that all these other services, and figured that we'd end with this slide. Let nothing dim the light that shines from within. May the force be with you, people. Thank you.